Here we are, day 2 of the Expansion Accelerator, and we're going to dive into something really super simple, also really fun, and most importantly, incredibly powerful. So, there's something that I want you to do, like right now. And so, if for some reason you can't do this, maybe you're on the go, I want you to pause this audio and come back to it because it's only going to take a minute or so. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to stop what you're doing. I want you to take a look around whatever space you're in, and I want you to notice everything you can find that is the color blue. So take a moment, glance all around you, wherever you might be, any shade of blue. Different objects, different items, things that are big, small, just noticing how many things you can find that are the color blue. And now I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, I want you to remember the space that you're in. I want you to think about everything that you noticed in your current space that was the color white. The color white. How many of those things can you remember? Now, I want you to open your eyes. I want you to go ahead and I want you to scan whatever space you're in and go ahead and notice how many things you can find that are the color white. Isn't that so interesting? I'm really curious how that experience was for you. This is something that I did recently, and I noticed that when my eyes were closed and I was asked to find a completely different color than the one we started with, it was really, really hard for me.
I had followed the assignment. I had been able to see and observe everything I was asked, everything I'd essentially fed my mind to find, and that was where my attention landed. And I feel like this is such a beautiful metaphor for how we move through life. And we're not going to dive too much into the science, but this is actually rooted in science. There is a part of our subconscious mind. If you don't know this, the subconscious mind is responsible for the majority of our reality. And the subconscious mind has something known as the Reticular Activating System. It is often referred to as the RAS. And essentially what this is it's stating how when you feed your mind something to look for, it will find it 100% of the time. Other examples are if you are car shopping and there is a new car that a friend tells you about and you're like, oh my gosh, I really like this. I've never seen a car like this on the road before. And then what happens? You see that car everywhere. Oh my goodness, I remember when I was pregnant with all 3 of my children, it seemed like I saw pregnant women all over the place. I would look down and see my belly and I would look up and there were bellies everywhere. And it's so funny because I don't actually ever see pregnant. Like, are people still pregnant? Like, I don't see pregnant people anymore. I'm not pregnant. So these are just many examples of the way that our mind operates and the fact that you will always find what you're looking for. And so for day 2, the inquiry, the question that I have for you is, what are you looking for, my love? And this could be what you're consciously, what you're intentionally seeking out, or as you're sitting here and you're noticing the way that your mind has been working, maybe your unconscious mind has been programmed to find what's wrong with things around you, maybe with you, with circumstances, to look for the not so great things, to lean on things like criticism and judgment. First and foremost, typically that starts with ourself. Self-criticism, self-judgment, and then that often ripples out into how we view, the lens through which we view everything and everyone else in our life. Maybe right now you're really noticing where things are not working or where things feel really hard. And I'm not sharing this message to invalidate all of that. I'm not saying that certain things aren't hard. They absolutely are. But we also get a say in the matter of the lens through which we're going to view said things in our life. We get a say in the matter when it comes to what are we choosing to focus on? What are we seeking? What are we looking for? And part of this entire experience is going to be reprogramming the way that your mind works, which is going to then shift the way that you move through the world, that you relate to yourself, the way that you relate to everything in your life. So coming back to this question, what are you looking for? Because whatever you're looking for, you will absolutely find. And if you just do a little internal check-in of what has been happening the last few weeks, the last few months, maybe the last year or few years in your head and your heart space, how has it felt to be in your head and in your heart space? I hope really good, but if it hasn't felt good, then I've got good news for you. We're going to completely shift that. So what I want you to do today, I want to say it's really fun and simple. If your mind needs a little bit more reprogramming, needs a little bit more of a workout, it might take you a little bit longer, and that's okay. I want you to grab a piece of paper and I want you to write the numbers 1 through 50. Yes, you heard me right, 50, 1 through 50. And I want you to make a list of everything that is actually working really well in your life. The things that are bringing you the most joy. These can be big things, these can be little things. What's working? What's good? What's bringing you the most joy? What do you appreciate? What are you grateful for? And I want you to make a list of 50 things. And now many of you probably already have, I don't want to make an assumption, may already have some sort of like daily gratitude practice. If you have been listening to the Grand Rising Expansion Activation, which if you haven't listened to that, oh, it's so good. I listened to that yesterday on day 1 and day 2. We even do a little bit of gratitude there, but the majority of gratitude practices, especially if you're doing them daily, you're typically thinking about 1 to 3 things. So making a list of 50 really incredible things is going to stretch your mind. It's going to really force you to most likely dig deep. I really, really, really want to invite you to do this. If you do, it's going to feel so good. And I cannot wait to hear about your experience. For some of you, this is going to be easy peasy. And for others who've maybe just been going through it, it might be a little bit harder. So honor, and trust however this unfolds for you. I'm so excited. I think that's it. There's one other thing. I remember as I was planning content for one of my events, I love my live events. I think it was for an event I did last year called Momentum. And I was journaling and prepping content. And I remember writing down the words. These, yes, if you're going to use these, quote me, please, because I didn't hear these from anyone else, but I feel like these were placed directly in my heart from God. The quote goes, "It takes an act of rebellion to see the good and beautiful things in the world. Be the rebel. Be the rebel." What do I mean by that? I feel like some of the forces that be, not talking about God, universe, spirit, but I think that there are people in power who benefit from us not being well and not being happy and not thriving. And if you just look at the news, which, fun fact, I don't watch the news, but if you watch anything from the news, it's all of these doom and gloom, sad things being broadcasted all over the place. And so it makes sense if people's hearts are hurting, or if our natural disposition in this day and age is to sink into sort of a negative head and heart space. But you get to choose something different. You get to rise above that. You get to be the rebel. You get to be the person who is actively on the lookout all day, every day for the most incredible, beautiful miracles and blessings and opportunities. And when you do that, your entire life will change. that was the piece that I wanted to add here. I love you. Happy day 2. I cannot wait to hear about your experience. You're welcome to share a screenshot of your list, of your journal prompt. If you wanted to tell us, did it feel really easy? Did it feel hard? Maybe there was a breakthrough or a realization. Maybe there's wins that are happening already. I actually know that there are for many of you. Maybe that some of this is being activated in other areas of your life. Feel free to share any and all of it. I love you so much. And I'll see you back here again for our day 3 training.
All right, Energy Expansion Pod Squad, we did it. We wrapped up another day of the Expansion Accelerator. I wanted to end with a loving reminder that everything you'll need, the different things that I referenced that you're going to want to use throughout this experience, you're always going to be able to find typed out in the show notes. There's also a link that's going to give you access to a handful of really, really fun, powerful DKC audio meditations and activations. There's one that I referenced a few times. It's honestly one of my personal favorites. It's called the Grand Rising AM Ritual. It's 10 minutes. It's a really beautiful addition to, and maybe you don't have a morning routine yet. This could be your entire morning routine in one 10-minute audio with the different things that I guide you through and that we touch on. So everything you need is below, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow.